Hello, and welcome to A Complete Vibe. So I am...
I'm sorry.
Really?
I didn't even do nothing.
Anywho, so welcome to A Complete Vibe. I am Shuri. This is my son, Quincy, and today I'm going to be interviewing him. He is also a burn survivor. So I just wanted you guys to see things from his perspective. He was a child when this happened. So yeah, I came up with some basic questions that I think a lot of you guys will want to know the answer to. Also, I did ask on my Instagram, and these were some of the questions that popped up as well. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, what's your name and your current age?
Quincy, and I'm 16.
Okay, how old were you when your injury happened?
I was 7.
Right. Okay, so where are your scar locations?
My left shoulder, elbow, and hand, and the right side of my face and my forehead.
Right, and he also had a donor site on his thigh. What's this, your right thigh?
Right.
Left thigh. And of course it was smaller when he was younger, but as he's grown, it's done gotten bigger. Like, cause he got some big ass thighs. So his scar has just gotten bigger as he's grown. So, okay, so what, if anything, has helped your self-esteem and confidence?
I went to a burn camp. It's in Alexander City, and it was like other burn survivors there and like counselors, and we just did a lot of activities, and that helped a lot.
Well, yeah, they've been going to burn camp every year since their accident, and their counselors are the same nurses from the hospital. So the first year they went to camp, it was kind of like they knew everybody, you know, it just was like an extension of being in the hospital. So yeah. So how have you dealt with bullying if you had to? If you had to deal with bullying, how did you deal with it?
So I told her about it.
Her being his mom. I'm not some random her.
But yeah, I told my mother about it, and she like went up to the school and handled it. So yeah. And
yeah. Okay, go.
And then like after that, I just like got taller and bigger. So I think people just leave me alone now.
Okay, so yeah, he had began acting completely out of character. He had gotten like to be real mean and just so different from his norm. I had asked him a few times what was going on with him, and he didn't say anything. And eventually, you know, like I just would not let up, and eventually he did tell me, you know, it was a kid at the school who was teasing him. I think about his burn garments or whatever he was saying, whatever. It was bothering my child. So yeah. The next day, I got up to the school before the principal, before the teachers. I was the first one at the school because it was like, you're not going to have my child not wanting to go to school or upset or angry or his feelings hurt. Like, no, I wasn't going for none of that. So yeah, just pay attention to your child's behavior and their demeanor. And if something is off, you know, figure out why that is. Did anything make you more comfortable with your new appearance?
I wore longer sleeve stuff so I could hide the shoulder and elbow burn, and then I wore a hat. Also.
Yeah, so I will insert some pictures here. He had to wear a face mask because, like he said, his scars are on his face. So he had to wear a face compression, and he just liked to wear his hat, like a baseball hat, on top of that. And I made sure, let me say this too. When they were in the hospital and they were getting ready to come back to school, their principal and teachers made it known that bullying would not be tolerated. They also made it known whatever my kids needed for them to be comfortable at school, they were willing to do. So that was one of the things he felt comfortable wearing was, you know, his baseball hat. And also, you know, when they were getting their compressions, had to wear their compressions you can get them in different colors. So eventually we would always get it his skin color, but eventually we he started to picking out his own compression. So whatever color he wanted, he picked them out on his own, like, and they were some weird ass colors, but that's what he wanted, so that's what happened. Okay, so any advice to a young person going through something similar?
Like listen to the nurses and therapist people, cause like
Physical therapist.
physical therapists.
Yeah.
Cause getting my like strength back was nice, and real compression stuff, cause I didn't really do it on this shoulder, so it's still kind of like
They help.
yeah, it ain't flat like how the rest of my burns are, but
Yeah, your compressions help no matter how itchy, irritating they are. Wear them. He wore his all day and all night. We always have more than one set, so when I would wash one set, he'll have them on the other set. So he wore his constantly. I want to say maybe for like a year or two, more than that.
I think it was like a year and a half.
Okay, so about a year and a half, he wore them nonstop, and they really did help. He never had any blisters. He never had any cysts. He never had any warts, blisters, none of that. So his skin in the end came, it was really flat. The results were great by wearing the compressions. So wear them. How do you plan on helping other young burn survivors?
I like to cook, so I want to start a restaurant and give like a certain. Is this not?
Yeah.
Oh, do I need to redo it?
No. Keep going.
Oh, so I was gonna give a certain percent of the money to like the children's hospital.
So yeah, some of his proceeds from the restaurant will go back to the burn center at the hospital. So yeah. Or you can have a little bucket, you know, where people can just donate their money in there too, in the front. You know them buckets?
I feel like people would steal from me.
Okay. Well, you put a lock on it. Or then they can just pick up the whole box. Okay, well, whatever. Make them pay when they tip. They can write in an extra tip.
Or just write it up to $1.
Yeah.
It up to $1.
Yeah. Okay, so how do you answer the question when people ask you what happened to you?
I don't, or I do. Like, if they trying to like be funny about it, I like don't. Or I just walk away, or just don't answer. Or if they like trying to actually figure it out, I'll tell them. But if I just don't want to, I won't.
So you just do whatever feels best to you at that moment. If you decide to answer, you do. If you don't want to answer, you don't. Right? Okay. How did you or do you deal with people who just stare at you?
I stare back.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, yeah. Especially like when he was younger and he had to wear his compressions, it was a few times we would be in the store and some other little kid would be staring at him, and it got to a point where it didn't bother him at all, but it always bothered me. So I'd be like, can I help you? Like, what the fuck are you staring at, little kid? And then usually that's when the parent would be like, oh, my bad, I'm sorry. But I mean, they're going to stare regardless. And also, I think it's about perspective, because if you tell yourself like, yeah, they staring because I'm fine. Like, I would stare at me too. Like, I'm that girl. You know, I think it just depends on what you're telling yourself. Because they could be staring because you're drop dead gorgeous, and maybe they're just taken back by your beauty. So don't always allow people's stares to get to you. Sometimes they're staring at you because they're in awe of you. So do you think your scars affect girls wanting to talk or date you?
No. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, not to sound arrogant, but it's not.
Okay, so they be on you.
It's not hard to. Yeah.
So you don't have no problems?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so last question. What are your long-term goals? And are any of those goals going to help other young burn survivors?
Yes, like the restaurant donation thing, and like the camp that I've been going to, I want to be a counselor there. And
Okay.
just want to be live a happy life, you know, healthy, safe, you know.
Okay, that's it? That's all you got to say?
Yes, no.
Okay. Do you want to add anything else?
Do I?
I don't know.
Nah. No.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Well, as always, thank you guys for watching. If you have any additional comments, feel free to leave them below. And we will see you later. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
So funky.
I don't know if you want me to say bye.
Duh.